President Obama and I created the DACA program, we knew it would transform lives. And it has, bringing stability and possibility to hundreds of thousands of young people known as dreamers. They're American in every way except on paper. It's past time for Congress to give dreamers a pathway to citizenship. And while we work toward that goal alongside dreamers, advocates, members of Congress, we need to give dreamers the opportunities and support they deserve. So today, my administration is announcing our plan to expand health coverage for DACA recipients by allowing them to enroll in the plan through the Affordable Care Act or through Medicaid.
Hey, time for another Rick Take. Just when you thought your taxpayer money going to Ukraine was bad, this guy, this fucking idiot, he wants dreamers to have health insurance. Let's jump into it. All right, so we'll start with this tweet from yesterday. Yeah, I got this yesterday, and came across my desk. But today, my administration is announcing our plan to expand health coverage for dreamers. The thousands of young people brought to the U.S. as kids. We're not done fighting for their pathway to citizenship, but we're getting them the opportunities they deserve in the meantime. Good fucking God, this idiot. Biden says he's expanding healthcare access for dreamers. President Joe Biden announced Thursday that hundreds of thousands of immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children will be able to apply for Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act's health insurance exchanges. The action will allow participants in the Obama-era Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, to access government-funded health insurance programs. They're American in every way except for on paper, Biden said in a video released on his Twitter page. Oh, we need to give dreamers the opportunities and support they deserve. Fucking moron. The action is likely to generate significant pushback from conservative leaders of states or just conservatives in general. Fuck this. Here's hot take number one of this video. Illegals do not, keyword not, need healthcare. What they need is to be fucking deported. That's what they need. Well, where was I? Pushback from conservative leaders of states that have been reluctant to expand Medicaid and critical of the Biden administration's response to migrants who enter the U.S. illegally. While the federal government provides funding and guidelines for Medicaid, the program is administered by states. Then President Barack Obama launched the 2012 DACA initiative to shield from deportation immigrants who were brought to the U.S. illegally by their parents as children and to allow them to work legally in the country. However, the immigrants known as dreamers were still ineligible for government-subsidized health insurance programs because they did not meet the definition for having lawful presence in the U.S. Biden's Department of Health and Human Services will aim to change that by the end of the month. For all it's worth, please, people, start calling your public servants, whether they be federal or local, because this shit is a bad idea. The White House action comes as the DACA program is in legal peril, and the number of people eligible is shrinking. An estimated 580,000 people were still enrolled in DACA at the end of last year, according to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. That number is down from previous years. Court orders currently prevent the U.S. Department of Homeland Security from processing new applications. The DACA program has been mired in legal challenges for years, while Congress has been unable to reach consensus on broader immigration reforms. DACA recipients can work legally and must pay taxes, but they don't have full legal status and are denied many benefits, including access to federally funded health insurance available to U.S. citizens and foreigners living in the U.S. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Many people signed up for Medicaid and the program that provides health care coverage for the poorest Americans. And the government increased federal subsidies to drive down the cost of insurance plans on the Affordable Care Act's marketplace. As of last year, just 8% of Americans were without health insurance, according to Health and Human Services. But immigrants living in the U.S. without documentation are far more likely than others to not have health insurance. More than a third of DACA recipients are estimated to be without health care coverage, HHS said. About half of the roughly 20 million immigrants who are living in the U.S. without documentation are uninsured, according to research from the Kaiser Family Foundation. 20 million immigrants without documentation. You mean illegals? You should probably reword this, PBS. Providing more people with insurance could have a positive impact on the entire health care system because it would give more people access to routine checkups and avoid emergency visits, said this dumbass Jamila Michner, associate professor of government and policy at Cornell University. We'll get to her next. Now, having sizable groups of people who live, work, go to school, and make their home in the U.S. but cannot access vital health benefits is bad for everyone, Michner said in an email. It makes preventive care less accessible, thus driving up the cost of emergency care. While there's bipartisan support to enact some sort of protections for the immigrants, negotiations have often broken down over in debates about border security and whether an expansion of protections might induce others to try to enter the U.S. without permission. Biden, a Democrat, has repeatedly called on Congress to provide a pathway to citizenship for immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children. If they came here illegally, they need to be fucking deported. What is so hard to grasp about that? Positive impact? What the? No! That's going to cost the taxpayers more money. What the? Oh, these people are stupid. They're morons. And dare I say it, I'm just going to use a word that pisses people off. They're retarded. Their thinking process is slow. I digress. And to this Jamila Michner, however the fuck you say her last name, she's a moron. She doesn't deserve the professorship at Cornell. She doesn't even deserve to teach at the elementary level because her fucking brain, that little space inside of her fucking head, it's at room temp IQ. That's where it is. Room temperature IQ. Remember that phrase. It's fun to use. Anyways. Other classes of immigrants, including asylum seekers and people with temporary protected status, are already eligible to purchase insurance through the marketplace of the ACA, Obama's 2010 healthcare law, often called Obamacare. That's right, it's the care of Obama. Fucking stupid. Well, that wraps up today's little Rick Take. Hope you liked, subscribe, like, share. If you didn't like it, hate watch it, and hate share it, and give me a thumbs down. Thumbs down, I don't care. I do this for the fun of it. And as usual, at the end of these, I have something extra. So, with that said, peace out. And now for something completely off topic.
2, 3, take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never